Hi, welcome in. My name is Zena, and today we are playing Moses and Plato, The Last Train to Clawville. The devs gave us an early access key to the demo, for which I am very grateful, and I'm excited to get started. This is a short demo version of the full game, which contains a slightly altered snippet of the final.
So, we're standing on top of a train, looking death in the eye.
That was quite a trip, wasn't it?
Quite a trip. If anyone had told me that we'd have ended up here, I would have laughed in their faces. So, where do we start?
Let's say a freezing cold day greeted us on that fateful Stavonian morning.
Furry heavens! Could you be any more cheesy?
I thought I was getting better at this.
That'll never happen.
Well then, let's just start at the beginning.
That was exciting.
Well, here we are.
I'm gonna freeze to death.
Now that you mention it, my dear friend, we're a little early, so you'll have plenty of time to do that.
No matter. I can already taste the champagne and olives on my tongue.
Champagne and olives?
The party! Aren't you looking forward to the big Bon Voyage party tonight?
Bon voyage.
Oh, that. I'd skip it if I could.
Ha! Moses, you're the saddest animal I've ever had the misfortune to meet. For once in your life, you should let loose. We're on a holiday, right?
Let me remind you that no, we are not on holiday. This is work.
Very heavens. You're beyond hope, Moses.
Well, you're probably right, my dear friend.
So we freeze to death. But, I see other passengers are starting to arrive.
We can have a little sniff around before we leave the station. Literally and figuratively.
Good idea. Although, I might not be able to move anymore.
Alright, let's take a look around the station. Her dress is beautiful.
Well, well.
She has a rather pleasant appearance.
Look who's here.
The ambassador. Ah, that creep makes my tail tingle.
Stay focused, Plato. We'll do what we've been hired to do, then we can take our well-deserved vacation.
When I think we have to protect this monster.
Let's not jump to conclusions, dear fellow. You know rumors are sometimes just rumors.
These aren't just rumors, Moses. They're facts.
We have a job to do, and we're going to do it. All right?
Yeah, all right.
New animal, new fact, new clue. Oh, we can talk to him? Can we talk to her? No.
Ah, finally. This is ridiculous. I've been waiting here for an age.
Sir, welcome.
Just grab the bags and pack them quickly. My daughter and I are freezing to death out here.
I did not expect that to be his daughter.
Sir, I think you misunderstand.
Are they paying you to talk or work? I am at my wit's end here. Can you believe it, my dear?
Leave me out of this.
Dear sir, I genuinely think there's been a misunderstanding here.
Just take our luggage and load it while I'm in a good mood.
That's enough. I think the cold must have frozen your ears. Let me be clear this time. Or can you listen to us for a moment and not just hear your own voice? That's enough.
You have a voice, How surprising.
Men. Is this charade really necessary?
Let me step in. This is Moses Wildflower, and I'm Plato Palladius of the Clawville Police Department. We are here because, unfortunately for us, we have been entrusted with the full protection of you and your dear daughter, until this magnificent train reaches Clawville.
Is that so? Well, why didn't you start with that?
We tried, but it must be the noise.
Whatever. So you're in the service of the Fox King, huh? Very well. Then I'll see you at the party soon, yes?
What party?
In fact, I think we'd rather...
The olives and the champagne.
Moses! We'll be there, sir.
All right then.
Joyful. Till then, gentlemen.
He has a sword. I'm sure he can protect himself.
Where's the bloody porter?
Keep your voice down. My head is splitting.
Interesting.
We just found out some interesting facts. Indeed. I leave you to wander around in your little mind garden.
What?
How do you know about my garden? You talk an awful lot in your sleep, Moses. If you had any idea what else I know. This is terribly embarrassing.
Yes?
Oh, yes it is. Mind garden. Okay. Animals. Plato Manuel Palladius, my loyal companion and friend Plato. Ignat Alexei, I cannot say that. Ivarinich. Oh, her name is Kunya. Okay, so we learned about the characters. The connections. Characters you met are on the left. Drag the ones you'd like to connect in the main area. Draw a line between two characters to highlight their relationship. A connection's nature can be changed at any time. Characters can be moved without breaking their connections. Okay. I guess I can't move that. Hostility? I don't know what it would be. Maybe they're not hostile. Maybe we'll deal with that later. Oh, but we can put father and daughter together. Maybe... dependence? Cooperation? Necessary? Facts and clues. Ignat's past is rather murky, having served as a high-ranking officer in the colonial czarist forces, including the Tarogo colonies. Let's ask a question. His daughter.
My daughter. Spoiled little brat. But I suppose that's mainly my fault.
Ah, come on. Don't blame yourself.
If you want to know more, perhaps you should ask Her Majesty. I don't have time for this.
Thank you. We will, sir. Madam, we are pleased to be of service to you and your good father.
Do I look like I've molted for the first time?
What? I beg your pardon?
I know you despise us, and you have every reason to, but I don't care. Nor do I care about these ridiculous peace negotiations.
Oh, I see. That was refreshingly cold and honest.
Just stay away from me. Or at least keep your flattery to yourself.
You know what? You're really a little...
Oh no, Plato. As
Thank
you
you.
wish, ma'am.
And good day to you, gentlemen.
Same to you, madam.
Whew, she's something, ain't she? Just like the weather here. Ice cold and, well, mostly ice cold.
Indeed. But it's interesting what she said. I mean about the peace negotiations.
You know what? I don't like the idea of them myself. And these Stavonians make my tail cramp up.
I thought you were a devout pacifist. You should be happy for peace.
Well, since I've been through the hell of war myself, I am. But this is just smoke and mirrors, Moses. There will never be peace between Stavonia and Clawville. Hostility is coated in our blood.
Maybe. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We haven't even started this journey.
Yeah, you're right. And we might just be in for the adventure of a lifetime, huh?
Oh, but every day is an adventure with you, Plato.
Aw, how sweet.
More and more passengers.
If you want to know more than animals are willing to tell you, use your refined senses, Moses.
You're in a rather educational mood today, my dear friend. I could almost call it lecturing,
You'll thank me later, Moses. Believe me.
if you say so.
New ass topic. Ignat's daughter is a fierce and vocal opponent of peace negotiations. This could cause problems. Wait, did I miss something here? The Fox King. Hector III, or as most animals call him, the Fox King, is the third member of the Falio dynasty. Although Clawville is a small state, its king is amongst the most influential animals of the wilderness, not because of the city's actual importance, but for riches of its faraway colonies. The Clawville Express is a legendary train that takes a legendary journey. In fact, it crosses the entire continent of Altera, passing through the capitals of the most important countries. It is also iconic in the sense that it starts from Clawville and terminates at Stevania, in the capital city of Porza, the great historical enemy of the Clawville crown. Thus, the journey is symbolic and significant in more ways than one. Stavonia is also referred to as the Eastern Empire. This is the harsh world of the proud people of Stavonia. It is inhabited mainly by predators and big cats. There is considerable tension between Clawville and Stavonia for both historical and economic reasons. The Stovosardom, sorry about that, was the biggest loser in the Great Meat Wars. Oh, not the Great Meat Wars. But since the collapse of the Great Eastern Empire, they have been growing and strengthening at a rapid pace and are seen by many as potential instigators of the Second Meat Wars and the greatest threat to the modern world. Clawville and Stavonia have been at war for centuries, sometimes culminating in fierce armed conflict, sometimes in decades of standing or a cold war. The peace treaty now on the horizon is of historic significance, the like of which has not been seen since the end of the Great Meat War. Clawville is a city-state, the center of the Clawville colonial empire, and one of the most important and influential cities in the wilderness. Its centuries-old conflict with the Republic of Stavonia may soon be brought to a close by a peace treaty. What else can I do?
Interesting.
They have an extremely strong and intoxicating perfume around them, almost as if they were trying to hide something with it.
Let's see.
Trains have a distinctive smell that is a mixture of many different aromas: metal, oil, coal, leather, and many more, but nothing blatant or noteworthy. Okay, so we can use our nose. What about our ears?
Stop staring at that woman.
What woman? I know.
Yes, you are. You are looking at that cat. Stop it, it's humiliating.
It's not a cat, it's a panther.
And that's an excuse.
I swear, I wasn't staring, sweetie.
Sure.
I thought you were over this cat thing.
Oh no, he has a cat thing? Okay, we can't hear anything else. Ah.
Fluffy, fuzzy. Damn.
Quite a tower, isn't it?
That could easily accommodate all the members of the country's parliament.
Or an invading army.
You got that right.
Listen,
Having to oversee the protection and well-being of the Stavonian delegation is not just a simple task, but also a kind of trust and power play between the two countries of Clawville and Stavonia. Frankly, it's not very uplifting to be caught between two such superpowers. Alright, I think we've seen everything there is to see. My pocket watch, which was my grandfather's. It never stops for a second. Neither does a good detective. Oh. Okay. We've reached our mine garden. We figured everything out here. Let's talk to them. Oh, we can't.
interesting.
She looks like an interesting lady indeed. Somehow she seems out of place. Yeah, 'cause she's a prey animal. Isn't she a rabbit?
He looks rather familiar.
You mean Cassidy Lupus, the silent wolf?
The what and who?
To my bushy tail, you really do live in a cave, don't you?
So he's some kind of movie star.
The movie star,
Uh-huh. And the young lady?
Cassandra Ruby Faye, a real up-and-coming movie sensation. They're predicting a big future for her, although the tabloids say she's a bit unstable.
We know to never trust the tabloids.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Quite lovely, too.
Excuse my rudeness. My name is...
Oh, come on, it's no problem. What can I write? Who will it be for?
What? No, I don't...
Then simply Cassidy Lupus, star of Silent Wolf and the Loudest Howl. Here we go, darling.
But I...
Don't thank me, friend. It's nothing. My pleasure.
Well, thank you.
Hey, mister.
Yes, little thingy.
A little thingy.
Little what?
Relax, my dear friend. I'm sure he did not mean. Let's not get too excited, shall we? It's probably the cold. It's getting on your nerves. Ouch, that must have hurt. Say, relax, my dear friend.
As the wily fox says.
Wiley.
This is Detective Moses Wildflower, and I'm Plato Palladius from the Clawville Police Department. And we're not here for your autograph. You can be sure of that.
What, the police?
For the wild ones. Cassidy, what have you done now?
Not a single thing, Cassandra, dear, I swear. At least, I don't think.
Nothing to worry about, madam. Sir, we just wanted to say hello and assure you that with 2 senior police officers on board, you will have the safest and most comfortable journey possible.
Oh, really? That's rather nice to hear.
Don't worry about Cassidy. He's a bit weak in the knees. But otherwise, he's a pretty nice guy. At least, for the most part.
So Cassidy can sometimes not be a nice guy.
For the most part. But darling.
Oh, I don't want to use it. I made a mistake. Combine, okay. An unwanted autograph from Mr. Cassidy Lupus. The handwriting shows that he has scribbled his name a million times before. Plato, my loyal companion and friend Plato. He served in the military intelligence for years, but was demobilized and ended up as a detective with the Clawville Police Department. I praise my good fortune, for without him I would not be where I am today, although I'd hesitate to admit that to him. Ignat, ambassadors to Savonia, pursuing peace negotiations between the colonial empire of Clawville and the United Republic of Stavonia. We have been entrusted with the task of escorting and protecting him, which is a great honor. However, his past and character are rather questionable. Kunya is the daughter of the ambassador who is clearly on the trip out of sheer necessity, although I have a suspicion that there's another reason for her being here. In any case, she is a lady of noble breeding and a tempered but rebellious spirit. We shall have to watch her carefully. Cassidy Lupus is a famous film star whose presence is apparently impressive to everyone but me. He's a real show-off, but I'm told he does show off his extraordinary acting talents at times. We'll see, as well as how many of the things he tells us are acting. Cassandra Ruby Faye is an up-and-coming movie star who, although she has only appeared in a few films, is already being described as a legendary actress of the future and a kind of female icon. All I see is a scared bunny who's frightened of her own shadow, but we'll see what's really in her pretty little head before this journey's over. Now what do we do?
Interesting.
The Clawville Express is said to be the most amazing machine ever built by an animal. At least that's what they say. I wonder how it can live up to such big words.
Forgive me for the autograph fiasco. You know, the fans just find me everywhere. It's a nightmare.
Oh, I can imagine.
You can't imagine.
And the lady is...
Oh, what a barbarian I am. This is my companion and partner in many cinematic wonders, the magnificent Cassandra Ruby Faye.
Gentlemen, if I may say so, it's extremely reassuring that you're traveling with us.
Our pleasure, ma'am. Well, I don't expect much reassurance on this trip. Not so much for us. Of course, it's our pleasure.
You are a real gentleman.
Don't worry about a thing, as long as you see us.
Are you two going to the party?
Yes.
I regret to say that we probably will.
That's wonderful.
See you there, madam. Sir?
Do not bother me. Ask my daughter if you want to know something. You people give me migraines.
I beg your pardon.
Don't take it personally. I can't stand coppers in any shape or form.
Ah, I see. Well, the feeling is mutual.
You're just kidding me, yes?
Oh, of course.
My father. Don't you read the papers? It's all in there. Apart from his military and political career, he has no life.
You don't have a very high opinion of your father, am I right?
Ha! What are you? Some kind of a detective?
Ouch!
I'm only here because I want to see Clawville with my own eyes. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend several days locked up with him, even if someone pointed a gun at me.
Well,
Oh.
I see.
Make a note in your little notebook, detective. If somebody wring my father's neck, I should be suspect number one.
That can't happen, miss. That's why we're here.
Ah, yes. What a shame.
Oh my goodness, she's bold. Alright. Do we talk to her again?
This cursed weather.
Dear miss, as a fellow furry cat who is also used to the cold, may I say...
I am not a cat.
Ooh.
Oh, I see. I didn't mean it like that. I just...
And I am not furry either. I follow the Clawville fashion, if you must know.
Meaning?
I shave like every civilized woman in the world. Any other details you want to know?
No, thank you.
I didn't even want to know that.
Sorry to bother you, madam. We won't do it anymore.
The first good idea I've heard all day.
Can talk to him again?
It's awfully cold here, isn't it?
Ooh, yes, it is, Cassidy.
I'm sure you'll be nice and toasty in your cabin.
Tell me, where are you two staying? Up front?
Well, we're officially in the last car.
The... what? That's horrible.
Honestly, we were a bit surprised too.
My condolences, officers. If I were you, I would complain to management immediately.
Oh, it's all right. We can take it. The most important thing is to do our job, and nothing else.
I've been through 2 wars. I think I've slept in worse places.
Have you seen the inside of the last car? I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh no, what's it look like in there? New facts, new clue.
Believe me, he's not so horrible. Just a little disorganized.
Oh, you got me. For good. I couldn't deny it if I wanted to.
You know, it's funny meeting you here, on the other side of the world.
It is indeed. The wilderness is so small.
Madam, I've been around the world more than once, and I assure you, it's quite huge.
And yet, 4 citizens of Clawville just happen to be in the same place at the same time. What a wonderful coincidence. Am I right?
I wouldn't be
Oh,
so
she's
sure
sweet.
that's a coincidence.
Here we go. Ignore his cryptic remarks, like, you know, our lives are a tattered detective novel.
Oh, how exciting. Isn't it, darling?
That's right.
New option, ask.
Keep your eyes open, detectives. I mean, all your senses.
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't mean anything. But it seems a strange bunch of people are gathered here. My ears are itching, and that always means trouble.
Poor thing, she's terrified.
We'll keep an eye out, madam. You have my word.
Oh, you seem to have stepped out of another age, my dear detective.
Yeah, tell me about it. He's a living fossil.
Ooh.
Well, well.
Even more passengers.
Let's do this.
No surprise, the train is about to depart. Are you ready for the journey, Moses? Me? My dear friend, I'm always ready. Why did I even ask?
Well, well.
Colonial attire, exotic charisma, lofty bearing. I can't deny I am intrigued. Let's smell.
Well, well.
Unfortunately, I almost can't smell it. What a shame that such a beauty is being locked away like this.
Let's see.
It is a wonderful plant, I must say. The color is very distinctive, but I don't know where to put it. Is it a, let's say, Hibikonia?
Interesting.
The air is almost boiling between Torogo and Stavonia delegates, and I could swear the temperature is below 0.
Stop staring at that woman.
Oh, we heard this
What
already.
woman? I know.
Yes, you are. You were looking at that cat.
That dirty cow.
How dare you?
Buffalo.
What?
I said buffalo. Water buffalo.
Assassins. Traitors.
A little quieter, please, father.
I tell you they're trying to kill us. What else would they be doing here?
You're paranoid. Have a sip of brandy to calm you down.
Don't you tell me to calm down.
Weather experts say that this winter will be the coldest in Stavonia in a century, which is significant because Stavonia is not called the land of eternal winter for nothing. relationship between father and daughter is rather frosty and quite strange. Why the last wagon? Why are we there? A big question mark for us is why we are accommodated in the last wagon, as we are here to protect the Stavonian ambassador who is in the first one. Ignat believes his life could be threatened, and who else he thinks could be the culprit but the ambassador of Tarogo. The air between the two factions is almost red hot, which can be explained by historical animosity, but it could also have personal reasons. The ambassador Ignat is seriously worried that the Tarogo embassy is trying to kill him. You there? New conversation. See you at the party. As you say, Mr. Detective.
Listen,
Dear sir. What? Yes? I beg your pardon?
What?
Stop staring at her, you hear?
Absolutely not.
Me? But I'm not. We better stay out of this, Moses. He said not to bother him again, but it's lit up. We better not bother him anymore. I agree with each and every piece of hair on my back. Ma'am, we're playing a demo.
Yes.
Are you still here? Unfortunately, it is our bitter duty to stay with you until the journey is over.
Are you serious?
Well, you could do that in silence, couldn't you? Yes, we could, dear lady. Then...
Look who just arrived.
well, well. Must be a high-ranking official from the royal colonies. Interesting.
Load of interesting folks gathering here, huh?
He's probably here because of the peace negotiations, like the rest of us.
That damn treaty.
Now, my dear friend. What would Chief Inspector Bloodboil say to that kind of attitude?
You'll never get anywhere with that attitude, Plato.
You're pretty good at this voice impersonation thing.
Thank you, Moses.
It might even come in handy one day.
You really think so?
Perhaps. Well, well.
We looked at them already. Can we speak to you?
Greetings, sir. My name is...
Yes, you two are the detectives, right?
Yes, indeed we are. Although, frankly, I'm surprised that you know.
The whole station is talking about it. Two detectives protecting that pale-furred, sharp-toothed bastard. And I was just wondering, where are my detectives?
Your... excuse me?
If our beloved king sends personal protection to defend his enemies, like the ambassador of the Stavonian government, surely he sends one or two to protect his own beloved ally, the ambassador to his own colony. Am I right? Which would be myself.
You? You're the ambassador of Tarogo?
No other. Mujara Panina, ambassador, high priest, guru, and spiritual seer. I'm genuinely horrified that you don't know who I am.
If I may say so, you speak the Clawville dialect admirably.
Please do not change the topic. Although, I do speak with particular skill, yes.
I am truly sorry that you have not been properly escorted, sir, but you must be aware of the very delicate relationship between the Clawvillian crown and the Stavonian government.
Pah, don't take me for a fool.
Sorry if we offended you, sir. Sometimes it is easier to accept the painful truth. Haha, it's kind of detective humor, you know. Sorry if we offended you.
Don't blame yourself. I'm used to being surrounded by the incompetent.
Rude.
I'm here, sir.
Good. Chat with these gentlemen while I go rest my eyes.
Yes, of course, Sepa. How can I help you, gentlemen?
It's a pleasure to meet you and Ambassador Mujara.
The Separ is quite tired. I hope you will forgive him for being a bit irritable.
The Sapar?
Tarogo's religious leaders, who also wield considerable political influence.
Very well said. You are highly educated and well-informed, detective.
Thank you, Miss Fanny.
You could have boarded the train much later if you're going to the peace negotiations. So what are you doing here on the frozen other side of the world?
Unfortunately, that is sensitive, rather top secret information.
You see, Miss Fanny, we are in the service of the Clawville government. We serve our common king. You need not be afraid to share anything with us.
I fear that even you are not authorized to have this information, dear detectives. I am really very sorry. It is a most sensitive topic.
Well, in that case, that's not a problem. If it's so very, very sensitive, we understand.
Thank you, gentlemen. You are very kind.
I think it's still worth being a gentleman. That was not our intention. Secrets are a part of our work. If someone, we understand.
Secrets are part of our work. We understand.
Thank you. Your discretion means a lot to me.
Oh, we're discreet, ma'am.
Well, yes, we are. Most of the time.
The Clawville colonial empire once numbered 12 colonies, but now only a fraction of that remains, leaving Clawville itself considerably weakened. While the city-state and the empire that grew up around it are still one of the biggest players in the wilderness, the colonies that have fought for independence over the last 2 centuries have taken a toll on the empire's prestige and economic dominance. Although the crown of Clawville has indeed been shaken to some extent, the country's largest colonies are still part of the empire and do not seem likely to leave the fold anytime soon, unless the city itself collapses under its own weight. The Sapar is an important figure in the Tarogo politics and culture and religion. In fact, they have evolved from tribal leaders to religious and political leaders who still hold high positions in today's modern Tarogo society. Today, they are more like spiritual leaders and also high-ranking officials. The whole Tarogo state is also run by a Sapar, the main Sapar or Green Sapar. That is why the state of Tarogo is called the Saparat. He is the ambassador of the colony of Tarogo and the country's chief Sapar, which roughly translates as high priest or main religious leader. Mujara makes no secret of his disdain for the ambassador and the Stavonians in general, but he also seems to have peace as his top priority. Fani, Ambassador Mujara's pretty assistant, a pleasant and generally very good-natured lady. We don't know much about her, but she seems to keep her hot-tempered boss perfectly in check. The presence of Ambassador Mujara in Stavonia is strictly classified information. That alone is enough to pique our interest. Ambassador Mujara is seriously offended why he has not been given the same ornate escort and protective custody from the crown as the Stavonian ambassador. And I think that's fair.
Let's see.
He must be an employee of the Clawville Express.
Welcome, gentlemen. Detectives Wildflower and Palladius, I presume.
His other eyes don't have glasses.
Just Moses and Plato. No need for formalities.
As you wish, gentlemen. I'm Pierre. I'll be your guide, your helper, and your humble servant on the road.
Sounds very nice, buddy. May we speak to your boss?
My boss?
I mean the one who runs the Express.
Ah, I see. That would be me too, Pierre.
Oh, really?
Look, pal, no offense, but...
How could the train inspector be a simple insect?
Well, I mean, that's what I was getting at. I really didn't mean to offend you, but it's quite rare.
Indeed, it is rare, which is why I feel so honored. And of course, it is a huge responsibility too.
In that case, Good for you. And congratulations.
Thank you. Please enjoy your journey. If there's anything I can do to help, I'll jump to it right away.
I wish she could tell us why we're in the last car.
Huh?
You know, jump?
Ah, because you're a jumping spider.
Yes, I am. Witty.
Yes, we all had such a good laugh.
But please board the train soon. Most of the passengers have already taken their cabins.
We will. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard!
About time.
I was starting to freeze to death out here.
Cassandra, my darling, I'll have you warmed up in no time.
Must we tolerate this incessant chatter? Let's board.
Slow down, Separ. Don't be in such a hurry. You know your heart.
We wish you a pleasant journey on behalf of the Clawville Express. Let me know if you need anything. I can be very handy.
Huh?
Does he have so many hands?
Huh?
Oh, yes, I see. Because you have a lot of hands, right?
Oui.
Indeed.
Let's see if we can smell anything. Nothing new to smell. Nothing new to see. Let's ask Pierre why we're in the last car.
Listen,
Tell me, Pierre, how is it possible that the ambassador's bodyguards are not in the same wagon as the ambassador himself?
Indeed.
Well, the ambassador's carriage is occupied by none other than a baron, apart from the ambassador and his lovely daughter, of course. A baron? I see. Well, yes, that's understandable. And what of the carriage after that? That was taken as well. And the one after that? Well, taken as well, am I right? Yes, unfortunately. I see.
What?
Splendid. I can tell you we're going to have a wonderful trip there at the very arse of the train.
That's all.
Please. I'm sorry if this is any inconvenience. Oh, never mind. We're from Clawville. That city's depressing enough on its own. A few days in a dark little hole won't hurt anybody, eh? Well, we actually quite like the dark, cramped places, don't we, Plato? Because of our species.
What?
Well, yes, of course, but this isn't about race, it's about principle. Come on, don't always be such a grouch. That's more my style. Go to our mind garden. Pierre Walber represents Clawville Express and is a guide, steward, janitor, and caretaker. He is a multicolored character who can do more than one job at a time, not only because he has 8 limbs. He is bright, helpful, and seems to be completely reliable. Mujara's heart problems? Ambassador Mujara seems to have a problem with his heart?
Well, it wasn't that hard to have a little chat, was it? It's a nice way to pass the time.
I've already got the worst headache.
Come on, you'll survive. So, should we hop on board then?
If we must.
Quite strange company we got here, don't you think?
And we haven't seen half of it yet.
Something smells fishy to me. This Mujara guy and his assistant. Not to mention His Excellency the Ambassador and his ice-cold daughter.
We're in for an interesting journey, that's for sure. But I wouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
Well, anyway, time to get ready for the party.
Oh no, the party. You shouldn't have mentioned. My head.
Come on, Chief. Let's get dressed up, have a drink or two, and go to the little rat hole in the back of the train for a good sleep. What could go wrong?
Famous last words, eh?
Ha! See? You getting a sense of humor.
No.
Let's see. I still have a little time before the horrible party in the luxury dining car. What do I do until then? Explore the train? Who should I talk to? I better choose wisely because time is precious.
So, where to next?
I think it's worth taking a good look at the train map and deciding wisely how to use our precious time until the party starts.
And how much time do we have?
Exactly 1 hour, my dear friend. At least, let's say, 4 places to visit?
And 4 passengers to socialize with.
If we really must.
Where's the train map? I think we should talk to these two. But I also want to know who is here. Is there someone else's door? I want to talk to this person. Can I back up? Storage wagon?
No.
Oh, I want to look in there. There's no reason for me to enter here at the moment. Maybe later. Oh, I wanted to be nosy. There we go.
Hey, hey, hey! You're the detectives, aren't you? The high rollers from Clawville.
High rollers. I don't hear that enough.
Detectives Moses and Plato, yes, that would be us. And who do we have the honor of speaking to?
Me? I'm Basil. Basil Pesca is my honest name and it's full furry glory. To my friends, it's Baz. To my enemies, it's Ratty Pesca. Well, I'm a wombat, but you don't usually get to choose your nickname, eh?
Nice
I like
to meet
him.
you. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be travel companions.
Yes, we are, but don't let the condition of the carriage put you off. I'm not saying it's as good as the others, but I'm not saying it isn't.
I'm not sure I follow you, pal.
You see, my dear furry friend, everything is relative and a matter of comparison.
That's not a real answer, is it?
Ah, so you really are detectives. Obsessed with facts, huh? Well, you'll have something to investigate soon, I tell you. Just keep watching. Anytime, really, anytime, gentlemen.
Well, we should be going, shouldn't we?
I'll be here if you need any help, detectives. Believe me, you're gonna need me soon.
Oh no, the foreshadowing.
Okay. Psst. What do you think, Moses?
Nervous type, probably paranoid. But we do have to be careful, you're right about that.
I got a bad feeling about this guy. He's making my tail cramp up.
You've got a bad feeling about everyone, Plato, and please get your tail checked by someone.
But how many times have I been right, huh?
He who throws a handful of stones at a target must sometimes hit it.
Very deep.
And true, but let's stop whispering because we probably look very silly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can we look in the room?
Tell me, what did you mean before? That we're going to be busy here on the train?
Did you meet the bloody colonel?
I beg your pardon?
The Stavonian ambassador. People called him a butcher when he fought in the Colonial War, and other names, some way worse.
Interesting.
And there's that actor, if you can call him that. What a ripoff.
It's not a crime to be a ripoff.
Unfortunately.
And his girlfriend? Did you see the signs? She seems terribly unstable. She must be hysterical. Or worse, she could crack at any moment.
Oh no.
Well, sir, thank you for the observations. We'll keep an eye out.
You're right to do so. Yes, indeed. Eyes, ears, and nose open. I smell blood, you know, and my nose really fools me.
Blood?
I meant it figuratively. At least for now. But who knows?
Uh-huh. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a world traveller, at your service.
A world traveler? That's a profession?
All right, guidebooks, mister. And the best guidebooks in all the wilderness.
Is that so?
The eyes.
Here, take a look. This is the latest book I've written about Nautica.
Thank you. Are you working on a book right now?
Always. I'm writing one about the Clawville Express.
Good to know. Thank you.
So, the ambassador. What else do you know about him?
Yeah, not much, not much. I'm not a military historian or anything.
Strangely, I feel as if you still have something to say.
It's rather odd that he, of all people, is being sent to the peace negotiations.
Because...
Ignat is not only a butcher who has led Stavonia's bloodiest campaigns, but he's a particularly keen supporter of perpetual warfare against Clawville.
Which is the opposite of peace.
As you say, my furry little friend.
How about a party of Clawville wild cards?
Let's see.
Ah, that card game they play in the seedy dives? Well, yes, but believe me, I didn't learn it in a place
Let's
like
do
that.
this.
Of course not. Moses, what do you think? A party? Well, why not? My dear late mother always said, don't hesitate to embark on dangerous new adventures, son. I don't think Mummy was talking about life-threatening card games. Playing cards and attacking require one action point. Players receive 5 random cards at the beginning of their turn. You can only play cards on empty fields or cards locked with chips of your own color. A chip's number indicates how many turns that field will be locked from the other player. Only the opponent's card in the same row adjacent to the selected card can be attacked. The attack value of the attacking card is subtracted from the defense value of the defending card. After attacking, cards become exhausted and cannot attack again. An action point can be used to restore them. I mean, I guess we'll try, but I don't know what's going on. I don't really understand what to do now. Can I play another one? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. He's stronger than me. Four. Huh. 5-3. His cards seem better than ours. Will this cancel each other out, I wonder? Oh, it doesn't cancel it out. Okay. Let's try again. Not very good at card games, clearly. So he has 1 defense and 7 attack. Well, we don't have anything that can beat that. He has 1 attack and 6 HP. Oh, we can't place that there. Can his... It's only adjacent, right? So I can play this here? That'll beat us. Ah, he still won. Friends, I'm so sorry I don't understand this game. That's a 6. And that's a 6. If I place it, will it attack now? Second-rate detective, lousy general, but brilliant cannon fodder. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. But I tried my best. Come on, don't cheer yourself up. This game is for dubious characters like me anyway. So you admit you're a dubious character? You're a funny kitty cat, that's for sure. Alright, let's leave. Okay. Let's take a look at our... One day I'll have a dog-free recording, but not today. We got the Nautica book. A guidebook written by Basil Pesker. I would have thought it was a sham, but it seems to be a very real book. Basil Pesker, we're not even sure that's his real name. He claims to be a guidebook author, but he seems more like a simple vagabond. But he knows something about almost everyone on the train, which makes him not only interesting, but quite useful and highly suspicious. The Butcher. The ambassador played a major role in the bloody conflicts that took place in the Turogo colonies between Stavonia, Clawville, and of course the rebels of Turogo. He has been called by various names ever since, the most typical and the most eloquent being the Butcher. Ignat is not only a true butcher who has taken a large part of Stavonia's bloodiest campaigns, but is particularly keen supporter of the perpetual warfare against Clawville. Basil is either a very good judge of character and a good guesser, or he really knows something about almost everything and everyone. It's hard to tell, but he's certainly not the simple drifter he seems. So we're waiting for everything except the last wagon, Mujara's secret, and Mujara's heart. Alright, let's talk to Cassandra.
I'm sorry, I can't believe I'm saying this because we're on a train, but I think I'm a bit lost.
Not to worry, Miss Fay. It is indeed a train, but a rather large one.
With quite a lot of secrets.
Let's hope not.
I'm so glad you detectives are here.
And why is that?
Well, rumor has it the ambassador's about to be assassinated.
What?
Haven't you heard? Everyone's talking about it. They say someone on the train is trying to kill Ambassador Ignat.
Although we don't think this will happen.
I've heard it more than once, and I'm not even the social type.
New fact, new clue?
Why alone, if I may ask? Isn't Mr. Lupus your partner on this trip?
On this trip, and I hope even further, yes. However, you know he's under a lot of pressure lately with our latest picture, and tends to shut himself away for an hour or two. It's his personal downtime.
Ah, I see. New picture?
Yes, El Wolf. You haven't heard of it? It's been all over the press. The scandalous director, the movie star, and the rising starlet. Which would be me.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of it. How's the filming going?
Terribly. The whole production is a mess. The studio's in a frenzy and the director is an animal. And my dear Cassidy isn't at his best. You know, he's a sensitive artist. He needs peace and security and, well, this production is anything but peaceful or safe.
I see. Thank you, Miss Fay.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh my.
I'm not late for the
Let's
party.
do this.
Ah yes, the party everyone's been waiting for. Everyone? Maybe for you. Wouldn't you like to be there, miss? In the same place as the Stavonian embassy? No way. Not to be rude, but the less of them I get, the better. I can understand that.
Are you serious?
Plato, my friend, more professionalism, please. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, sorry, Moses, you're right.
Tell me.
You said the director of the upcoming film is an animal? I mean a pejorative sense?
Oh my.
In every sense of the word, yes. Charles Rufus Viter has directed some fantastic pictures. In some of them, he was even a brilliant actor himself. But now he's old and sour and evil, as childish as that sounds. A rich director corrupted by money and power? Not at all, miss. It's a classic. You know, for Cassidy and me, this trip is a relief, a break from the madness of the shooting. Not the shooting, of shooting. Thanks to the Great Wild Ones, the Crown thought the presence of two movie stars would brighten up the whole trip.
Interesting.
So you're not just here on holiday? Holiday, relaxation, and still a bit of work, yes. I like to think of us as ambassadors of clawvillian culture. I see. Nice thought.
Wonderful.
Isn't it? I think so myself. Your dear husband, I mean partner,
Interesting.
Behold, the great Moses Wildflower is embarrassed. Don't be ridiculous, Plato. Don't be embarrassed, dear Mr. Wildflower. Cassidy and I aren't married yet, but if all goes well, we'll finally get wed after filming El Wolf. Oh, congratulations. Well, if we can get through that horrible shoot with the beast of a director. A hidden killer, frightening rumors. Would there really be a murderous intent with a real killer on the train? Alright, so we've asked her
Let's
everything.
see.
She seems a little lost. Have 30 minutes until the next key event. Oh, the moving train is a bit stressful. Let's Let's talk to Fani.
Dear Miss Fani, it is a pleasure meeting you again.
Likewise, dear Mr. Wildflower.
Oh, you remembered my name. I'm honored.
Well, as an ambassador's assistant, I am a prisoner of details.
As am I. You see, as a detective, I have to pay attention to the smallest detail at all times.
Here we go.
I know the feeling. And? What have you observed so far?
Well, you're, how shall I say, exceptionally pretty and tidy and...
Oh.
That's so sweet. But that's not what I mean. I mean, what did you observe about the train and the passengers?
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Great wild ones, save us.
So, yes, a rather odd bunch of people have gathered here. Although we haven't managed to talk to everyone yet.
Have you heard the rumor?
The rumor?
That someone... Oh, it's terrible even to say it, but... There are whispers that someone is trying to kill the Stavonian ambassador.
Don't worry, miss. That won't happen. That's why we're here.
But aren't you putting yourselves in danger?
Maybe so, but it's part of the job.
Oh, how heroic.
Okay, this is where I die.
Please, just let me know if you need anything.
Anything?
Anything?
Anything, milady.
I will, Moses. I mean, Mr. Wildflower.
Cute.
Well, well.
Stavonia, ancient wild country. They say wild animals still live in its vast, untamed forests. Tell me, dear Fani, can we ask you a few pointed questions? You mean that I'd be interrogated? Not at all. We just like to get a thorough grounding. You know, it's kind of an occupational hazard. In that case, I have no objection. Glad to hear it. Well then. What's this? A casual conversation can very easily turn into a bloody serious one. I have to listen to answers and spot if the person I'm questioning is lying or twisting the truth. It won't be easy, especially with such a pleasant subject as Miss Fani. Select your next question.
So, how is your journey so far?
Well, the train is very comfortable, and the ambassador is pleased.
Yes, but I'm asking you, not the ambassador.
Oh, well, yes. I've never been on a train with such class, you know? I'm very thrilled about it.
What else? I can see that you're a little embarrassed, if I don't offend you by saying so.
You're so observant. Yes, well, besides being excited, I'm also a little uncomfortable, as I don't really know how to behave in a situation like this, with such important people.
I believe you. I advise you to just be yourself. That's always the best way.
Oh, really? I think so myself.
The ambassador was in a particularly peppery mood this morning. Could it have been the cold?
The weather is indeed hard on him. We're from the sweltering Torogo, but...
But...
The Separ is quite upset about Ambassador Ignat.
You mean why he hasn't been escorted in the same way?
Not only that, but the mere sight of the Stavonian delegation is deeply shocking and upsetting to him.
Interesting. Are there deeper, more personal reasons for the depth of his feelings?
Personal? Oh, no, not at all. It's just that Torogo and Stavonia have been in conflict for centuries. This is purely political.
Tell me, is there something wrong with the ambassador's health?
Why would you think that?
I'm just fumbling around, so...
No, not at all. The ambassador is in perfect health.
We heard you tell the ambassador to watch his heart. At another time, you said he is often tired nowadays.
Oh, this is fun.
You've got me, yes. The ambassador has a serious heart condition, but he does not like to appear weak in front of anyone, especially in front of his enemies.
That's understandable. Thank you. We won't pass it on to anyone, we promise.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about your country?
You want to hear about Torogo?
Exactly, my dear.
Well, you see, Torogo is very different from Stavonia or Clawville. We're just on the threshold of civilization. The country is still full of jungles, primitive tribes, exotic plants, and wilderness.
You talk about it very passionately.
I love my home very much, Mr. Wildflower. Notwithstanding, or perhaps because of, all the horrors it has endured in the last century.
You mean the Stavonian invasion?
Not just that, but you know, and I mean no offense, but Clawville is also just another colonial power. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, I'm very thankful to our common king, but...
Please, continue.
I don't want to bore you with my nonsense.
You're not boring me, my dear. Please.
Clawville has done our country a great service, given us many useful modern things. It's just that it's taken something too. Something that was very important to us. Our souls. Our freedom.
The features of her face are subtle, pleasant, relaxed, and serene. Her posture shows perfect control. Her every movement is planned and controlled. Her heartbeat is calm, slow, and balanced. I can also hear the friction of her clothes, and it is an extremely soft, expensive, and well-cared for fabric. Her posture shows perfect control. Her every movement is completely planned and controlled. Impressive.
What do you think of Stavonia?
We are taught from an early age that this place is pure evil. You know, because of the shared history between our nations. But to be honest, the people here have been kind to me, and the country is beautiful.
I'm glad you're so honest and open, Miss Fani. It helps our work a lot.
Your work? You mean, this is some kind of interrogation? Did something happen?
No, but, you know, we're always inquiring. It's kind of a professional habit. And, well, better safe than sorry, right?
Yes, exactly. You're right.
What do you think about the peace negotiations?
You're asking me?
Yes, you. Not the Separ, but you. I want your opinion.
Oh. Well, you know, I hadn't really thought about it that much. I'm so preoccupied with the ambassador's thoughts and concerns.
You almost forgot you have your own, don't you?
Yes, exactly. I mean, it sounds very silly, but sort of.
Don't worry. I understand. So...
I think it's the greatest thing that's happened in the wilderness in decades. Two great powers that have been enemies for centuries finally joining hands and uniting in a common cause.
And the Stavonian ambassador?
The mere presence of Ambassador Ignat is a symbol. If the negotiations go well in Clawville and peace is finally signed, it will be a genuinely grand event for all of us. Oh my, isn't that wonderful?
I see. I believe you, miss. Thank you, detective.
Tell me, why are you really here? I mean, why are you really here?
I'm sorry. I don't know what you are suggesting.
So, you were on holiday? Right here, one of the coldest places of the whole wild world.
I've already told you, Detective. it's just a coincidence. The ambassador was here on holiday, yes. You know he loves the opera, and Stavonia is famous for its opera houses.
Nah.
What do you think of your fellow passengers?
Quite a colourful bunch, but the ones I've met so far have been quite nice.
Even the Stavonian delegation?
So far, yes.
Even Cunha?
You mean the ambassador's daughter? Well, she was a little more cold than she should have been.
I can believe that. The mere presence of her chills the room by 2 degrees, doesn't it?
As you say, dear detective. Exactly.
What do you think of Ambassador Ignat?
He is a rather frightening figure. He has a terrible reputation in my country. Just think of the Canbor massacre, where thousands perished by the hands of the Stavonians before the clawville forces liberated the region.
I believe that war crime was never proven against the ambassador.
That's true. But for the people of Torogo, there is no question that he was guilty.
And you think so as well?
You know, Mr. Wildflower, I try to see the best in everyone, even when it's very difficult. And in this case, I assume the best in the absence of evidence. It's just the way I am. I can't...
I think that does it. I'm so sorry I interrupted you. Oh my, it wasn't a very useful conversation, was it? Let's just say I didn't learn everything I wanted to know, but that's not your fault. I hope we can talk some other time. I sincerely hope so. Oh, because I made a mistake. Let's continue, because this is just a demo, and we'll learn for next time. Thank you for your generous answers. Not a problem. I'm glad I could help, though. You can say it, dear. It's rather daunting to be involved in such an interrogation. I wouldn't say it was an interrogation, more of an analytic inquiry. You said the same thing, but in odd words, didn't you? She's already seeing right through you, Moses. See? It's that easy. I get it. It's time. The party is about to start. Just get it over with. You'll love it, believe me. Think of it as one big sociological experiment. Yeah, but who's the subject? Them? Or is it me? You really are indefensible. You're right, dear friend. Sorry. Come on, I'm used to it. Let's go. After all, what could go wrong? As you say, Plato, what could go wrong?
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We haven't even started this journey.
And we might just be in for the adventure of a lifetime, huh?
Oh, but every day is an adventure with you, Plato.
Come on, Chief. Let's get dressed up, have a drink or two, and go to the little rat hole in the back of the train for a good sleep. What could go wrong?
Oh no.
Famous last words, eh?
To be continued. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining me as we played the demo. I really appreciate you being here and watching this video. I apologize for the occasional puppy noises. They like to play when I'm trying to get things done. But if you're interested in this game, I had a great time. I loved the questioning. I definitely need to think through my answers a bit better. But this game is already on my wish list, and we will be playing the full release on my channel when it comes out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.